Hello everyone and welcome back to Acne Beautiful with Morgan Elizabeth. We're here for a short video today. I was about to make some homemade sauerkraut and I thought great opportunity to share this with you guys. So here we are. It's finally cold. Actually my hands are like freezing right now. I haven't turned the heat on yet. Holding out for November to roll around. But I'm happy that it is chilly and I'm happy to be wearing a hat, and yeah, that's all I can really say about that. I wish my hands were a little less cold, but what are you gonna do? So let's go ahead and make some raw sauerkraut. Ooh, raw sauerkraut. So why are we making it? Why is it so good for our health? And how is it gonna benefit your acne prone skin? Couple of different things. So having a raw fermented food, one thing that happens is we have a plethora of good bacteria or probiotics that develop during the fermentation process that takes place. And when we have that, we get to ingest them and introduce them to our own gut bacteria, which are just, ready and willing to have these new guys come in. Some of them will stick around and some of them will be a little bit more transient. Nevertheless, they help us with a variety of things. They help boost our immune system. They help break down food for us so that we have a more digestible food and absorb nutrients better. And a number of other things. A lot of research has come out recently about probiotics and skin health as well. And we do already know that the health of the skin is directly linked to the health of our gut. So they really do influence each other in a lot of ways. So taking care of your gut first, like I always say, take care of the inside and then you can help take care of the outside just by taking care of the inside. So by taking care of our gut first, we also benefit the health of our skin. I love red cabbage. One of the main reasons I love red cabbage is because it really has a plethora of phytochemicals. It's loaded with antioxidants. It's really bright purple, so we get a fantastic color from the rainbow here. It's always important to make sure that your plate is filled with vegetables that represent all of the different colors of the rainbow, as many as you can get in there. Then you know you're getting a lot of different phytochemicals and antioxidants in your diet. It's also full of a variety of vitamins and minerals as well, and we're going to briefly talk about them. So you can get some B vitamins in cabbage, calcium, manganese, magnesium, iron, let's see what else, vitamin K, not vitamin K2, vitamin K1, so not the kind that you actually need for the health of your bones, but nevertheless, vitamin K. And vitamin C. And vitamin C is not a very stable molecule. It doesn't tolerate heat well. So when we cook a food that's high in vitamin C using heat, we unfortunately lose the vitamin C and we don't get to enjoy those health promoting benefits of the vitamin C. Now fermentation is its own sort of cooking process, but we're cooking with the natural bacteria that are there, so to speak. They're helping us to break down this food, and it's nature's own sort of little, delicious rot, if you will. So we're just slowing down and containing the process of the natural breakdown that occurs when a food starts to rot. But we're doing it in a contained and controlled way, which produces a really delicious food. And cultures have been doing this for millennia, and you don't have to use red cabbage. You could use green cabbage, you could use other vegetables, you could use Napa cabbage. That's what they use for kimchi, the delicious Korean dish that's a little bit spicy. I'm going to keep it really basic today and very affordable as well. Regardless of what vegetables you use, it's a pretty darn affordable option to make it yourself. So a few other things that you're going to find in your red cabbage include vitamin A, vitamin E, and of course fiber. I'm not going to talk too much about the cancer preventing, modulating phytochemicals today since we're focusing on skin health. However, vitamin A in particular, very, very beneficial for the skin. Vitamin A can assist us with the regrowth of skin cells, protection from sun damage, and help with the help maintain the elasticity of the skin as well. So not just great for somebody with acne prone skin, but really for all skin health promoting properties on a whole. So, you know, the antioxidants, the vitamin A, they help keep your skin really, really fresh, nice and tight, and flexible as well. Also helping to reduce wrinkles and scarring and age spots. So it's kind of a winner all around. All right, so let's jump in. Let's make this bad boy, and I'm going to show you real quick what I'm working with here. So I already washed my hands. Make sure you have nice clean hands, and I already washed my little friend here as well. Now I have a small head of cabbage today because I don't want to use a lot of jars, and I had 2 here that I could easily wash and sanitize for my little adventure today. So I wash them really well. I sanitize them with boiling water, including the lids. I drop them in the boiling water as well. I also have a cutting board that is clean, as well as a clean knife. And I have some high quality sea salt. So you definitely want to use sea salt and not regular iodized table salt. The sea salt is loaded with a lot of different minerals as well, depending on the area of the earth that the sea salt came from. So you get a plethora of minerals from your sea salt as well, which is beautiful, wonderful. And then a nice, this isn't the biggest bowl, but it'll do for today. Yeah, when I moved, I seem to have not taken everything with me. So I'm missing a lot of kitchen items. Doesn't matter. And then I have, you know, this wooden spoon right here, which I'm going to use to mash and press down, press the cabbage down into the jars. It's great if you have something more like a muddler, something of that nature that you can really pound it with. I actually do, come to think of it, have the long stick from my Vitamix, which would be good to use as well, but I think I'll manage without that today since I'm already here. All right, so let's jump in. Let's do this because I did say it's going to be a short video. So the first thing we're going to do is simply remove the 2 outer leaves as best you sort of can without destroying them. I'm already destroying them. We're going to remove them and save them for the end of the process. And we're going to use them. Okay, so I got 1 off and the other one just, well, this is a really tight cabbage. Doesn't want to let go. Oh, I have some soap suds still, so let me give this a quick rinse. Don't want soapy cabbage, no. Okay, I'm back. Yes, I prefer not to have soapy cabbage. And I am, kind of hurting this one too. You know what? It's as good as it's gonna get. There we go. Oh boy. Okay, so I probably have more leaves than I need there, but that was 2 of them anyway. And then go ahead and cut off the bottom of your cabbage. I'm actually going to use this towards the end to weigh down all of the vegetables because I want to make sure that the entire cabbage is submerged under the fluid, under the juices, which you will see how that comes about. But the very bottom of this, I don't want to hold it over my computer, is kind of nasty from its journey from the farm to the grocery store. So I'm going to cut that off too because it just looks disgusting. It's good enough for now. That wasn't the floor, that was my other countertop. And set that aside. Okay, now let's get this guy open. And then we're gonna cut out the core. So you can slice your, wow. No wonder it was hard to get those leaves off. Look at how tightly wound this guy is. Seems a little uptight to me. I'm gonna cut this core out. And then you can cut your cabbage kind of like as finely as you like. Some people leave it a little chunkier. I like it pretty finely chopped. All right, so let me work on this for a minute. I'm gonna chop, chop, slice, 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 chop and slice. Now, there is a method to determine the amount of sea salt that you use. I like to weigh the cabbage and then multiply that. Ooh, so we want 2% of the weight of the cabbage in sea salt. But my scale battery is dead, so my computer is sitting on my scale right now to prop it up a little bit. So yeah, need a new battery for that, guys. So I'm just gonna go by taste today. I'm not gonna bother weighing it because I cannot. But if you do want to be super precise with your salts, you can weigh your cabbage, and then you'll want your salts, your sea salts, to be about 2% of that cabbage's weight. So you just got to do a little quick multiplication, easy peasy. And then I'll give you how much salt to use. All right, even finer, so that was chunky. Okay, when I put this video together, I might cut some of this out. You don't need to see every last thing in terms of the chopping. And the other half now. Again, I'm going to cut this core out. Might use that for my weighting system. You can buy weights, but in my opinion, they're really unnecessary. All right, chop, 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 chop. And chop, 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 chop. Okay, my bowl is filling up, which is a really good reason why I have this small cabbage and not a big cabbage. Okay, the last quarter here. Get this guy chopped. My hands are pretty chilly. That's all right. Okay, almost done. I don't know about you guys, but I love the health benefits of fermented foods, and I love the taste. It's a really nice little topping, little side topping to have on your dishes, your dinner, your lunch, even breakfast. And you don't need much, like 2 tablespoons on top will give you all of the beneficial probiotics that you need and want in your diet. It's really a great way to get a diverse selection of probiotics, as well as a high quantity. So the quantities of probiotics found in a fermented food are generally much higher gram for gram compared to what you can get in a store-bought probiotic. So that's actually really great, especially if you are trying to watch your wallet. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and add some salt now. I'm pretty generous with the salt. It aids in our entire fermentation process. And then after I get some of that salt in there, really what we're gonna do now is just give it a massage, and you can be pretty rough with your cabbage here. So if you have any stress, you wanna get out, just get in there and really squeeze the heck out of it. And as you do this, that salt is going to help pull the water out of the cabbage and create more liquid. And that liquid is also what we're going to use to make sure our cabbage is submerged. So how inexpensive is this, right? You buy sauerkraut at the store these days, kimchi at the store. I think the cheapest one I've seen was Trader Joe's for $3.99 plus tax, which is a good price. Then you have like generally $5.99, $6.99, up to $7.99, and then some of the other ones can get up to $10.99. So This cabbage was less than $2 for that head, which is just, you know, really good. And sea salt, oh, that was nothing. I have a huge thing of sea salt. It costs less than $2 for the whole package, so. All right, so we're gonna start filling the jars at this point. I'm gonna get some in there. See, if like maybe that much. And then I'm gonna take my spoon, making a huge mess. Uh-oh. The other end of the spoon. Wow. Didn't plan that out too well. Excuse me, I'm not enjoying that. Let's use a spatula. Really kind of mash it down. This is the part I said people use like a big muddler stick. The Vitamix stick would work well, but I didn't get that out and get it all cleaned. And then you just kind of keep on packing it in. I used to have some really nice big wide mouth jars, bigger than this, bigger than these. That would have been really good to use. Again, when I moved, a lot of stuff got left behind, and that's okay. All right, so this is just gonna go on for a while, and again, you don't need to watch me do this whole entire thing. Just gonna squeeze it a little more. More juices. So part of the reason why you want your cabbage submerged under all of the watery juices that are created is to help keep a nice, tight, oxygen-free, that is no oxygen available, anaerobic environment for your bacteria. Keeps it safe, keeps the product safe for consumption. And it's exactly what we want for all of those beneficial bacteria to thrive and do their job and multiply. All right, now this is getting nice and liquidy. Good. Messy. Can you imagine doing your kimchi? Your hands are just bright red from the Korean chili, red pepper. Chili? Red pepper? I don't remember. One of those two. Flakes. Not loving my tools here. Make it work. Yeah, not the ideal tools, guys. That's all right. Pretty good. Oh my gosh, I'm really making a mess today. Okay, so just keep filling, pressing down, mashing down, pressing down, mashing down. Some more in. You can see that better. That's a little bit better for your view. More mashing and pressing and mashing and pressing. Get everyone in there, nice and tight. One big happy cabbage family. Ooh, yeah. I'm not gonna have much for the next jar. It's gonna be a small amount, which Maybe I'll just do one and then cook the rest of this because it's like hardly any left. That's what I'll do. Just the one and then cook up the rest. Okay. Keep on pressing this down. Press, 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 press. Ooh, my hair's in my face. Can't really see. Not about to touch it with my hands, but I'll survive. Yeah. Oh yeah, all those juices are coming. Yeah, that's what I want. You can see all the juices coming up as I press this cabbage firmly down. You know what? This rubber spatula isn't so bad after all. And I'm gonna get all of this cabbage in there. Hurrah! Hooray, hurrah, hooray, hurrah. Here's the last little bit. Last little bit. Let's get those. Okay. Nom, 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 nom. You know what? Cooking is meant to be messy. It's okay. And we are cooking. We're just cooking without heat. Cooking with bacteria. Mother Nature's delicious rot. So, the fermentation process is just a controlled environment, but it's essentially, you know, it's the food breaking down. It's part of the breakdown process that occurs, the rotting process that occurs. We're just controlling it. Oh yeah. And cultures, you know, cultures have been doing this, making fermented foods for millennia and hundreds of years, whatever you want to say. And a lot of cultures would actually just dig a hole in the ground and, oh no, I broke my spatula. All right, add that to the list of things that I need. Oh my gosh, don't leave that in there. Ew, poor spatula. Okay, so you've seen better days, spatula, but you got the job done. Yeah, so like I was saying, cultures that have been fermenting foods for hundreds of years would use a hole in the ground often. And put the food right down in that hole for the fermentation process. Okay, some cultures use like wooden vats. All right, all sorts of things. It's pretty well packed. I can see the fluid rising up above the cabbage, which is what I want to see. Just gonna make sure it's really all nice and submerged. So, yeah. All right, now if you have more cabbage than I do, and you're filling up more than one jar, you'll fill it to about where the jar starts to have its curvature. Maybe like to like here. So I was just about there, but I wouldn't go too much more. And then you'd leave the rest empty. That's because during the fermentation process, you're gonna get a lot of action, a lot of bubbling action, and you wanna leave room for all of those gases to escape. Okay. So now I don't need all these leaves, but it's okay. I will just cook it. I'll cook the rest. But you're gonna take one of your outer leaves and just trim it with your hands best you can. And then we're gonna use it as a nice little cover inside, just to help keep the cabbage covered, pressed down and away from the air. So remember, this is an anaerobic process, so we do not want the cabbage exposed to the air. Oh, it's kind of hard to talk and do this. I'm like concentrating and putting a lot of energy into this, So we have our nice little leaf blankie for the cabbage. We're tucking them in, getting them ready for bed. Gonna have a nice long sleep, 2-week long sleep. Some people don't like their cabbage too sour, and they might ferment it for only about 5 days or so, and that's perfectly fine. Some people like it stronger, like myself, and I'll let it ferment for, up to 2 weeks. The important thing is that you do want to taste it. Do little taste tests along the way, and you'll just open your jar and just peel back your little blanket leaf layer and have a little taste, and you can see basically how far along it is in the fermentation process. So you'll see if it fits your taste buds. Now we want to weigh that leaf down. I'm being very picky, very particular here. But okay, so we're gonna weigh it down. I'm gonna use that cabbage top. Stuff that guy in there. It's like a weight just to keep it all in there. And I might even use another little piece over here. Like a cork, like a cap. One little piece over here. One little piece over here where I had some exposed edges. It's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. All right. Okay, let me show you guys. So the cabbage has been squished down thoroughly. The juices, which you can see the bubbling part at the top, the juices are now, they have all of the cabbage submerged underneath the, the juices, which the sea salt helped extract the water from the cabbage. So that's how that occurred. And then we put our leaf on top, little blanket, set them up for bed. And then we put our little weighted pieces of core on top of that. At this point, our friend is ready to go to bed for a nice long 5 to 2 weeks long sleep, depending on your taste buds, taste preferences. So put the lid on top. Some people actually use one of those lids that will suck all of the air out. I don't have one of those. Oops. And then stick this guy on. Just, lightly. You're not going to turn it all the way. Just lightly put your lid on. This is going to allow all of those gases to escape, and we also have some room in here for those gases to escape as well. And then, got some messy hands here, but one of the last things we're going to do is, cabbage hands. Put the cabbage in a relatively warm spot. It's not very warm in here today, but somewhere between 50 and 70 degrees or so. We'll keep that guy nice and happy. And I will put a plate underneath it, and then you put a nice little towel on top. So one more nice little blanket. and then we say good night to the cabbage and let it rest. Let it do its thing. So you can check it after about 5 days. Just lightly peel back the leaf blanket, give it a taste, see how it tastes to you. I'm gonna let this guy ferment for about 2 weeks, but I will taste it along the way. And if something doesn't taste right to you or smells off, then you know something didn't really go well, and then you don't want to consume it. But I've personally never had a problem making sauerkrauts. So just use your own judgment. I'm gonna get a plate, but I'll do that after I kill the video. So there you have it. Easy peasy homemade sauerkraut with red cabbage and sea salt, 2 ingredients, and super healthy for your health. You got all of those beneficial vitamins and minerals that we touched on briefly at the beginning. And of course, during the fermentation process that's about to take place, we're gonna have a lot of beautiful probiotics develop, some yummy gut bacteria that will help us out with our journey to clear skin as well, and also help keep our immune system, you know, nice and happy as we march forward into what's always known as the cold and flu season. And now this year we've got the corona as well. So yeah, happy eating, happy fermenting, and I'll see you guys very soon for our part 3 video on the endocrine system. So we're gonna wrap up the endocrine system, talking about progesterone, the adrenal glands, and the thyroid glands, and then we'll have part 4 next week, where we're going to get into some of the typical symptoms of hormonal imbalances. So that'll be fun because you'll be able to pinpoint which ones sort of fit in with you, and then see which hormones are related to that. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed making sauerkraut with me today. I've got a little bit of a mess to clean up, but all right, thanks so much, guys. More soon. Love ya.